Chiefs Kingdom, big news just dropped. The Kansas City Chiefs used their first-round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft to select offensive lineman Josh Simmons, and fans everywhere are sounding off. But before you judge the pick, let's break down exactly who this guy is, because once you know his story, you might just change your mind. Josh Simmons is a physical monster, standing 6'6", weighing over 320 pounds, and with the kind of wingspan and foot speed that offensive line coaches dream about. But his game isn't just about size. It's about attitude, work ethic, and the kind of drive that turns raw potential into real results. He started his college career at San Diego State, where he made a name for himself early on with his strength and aggressiveness in the trenches. But Simmons knew he needed to take the next step to get NFL ready. That's why he transferred to Ohio State, one of the top programs in the country for developing NFL talent. And this move paid off. At Ohio State, Simmons was thrown into a much tougher environment, learning advanced blocking schemes and going up against top-tier competition every week. He didn't just survive, he stood out. Coaches praised his development, teammates respected his leadership, and NFL scouts took notice. So why did the Chiefs grab him in the first round? Simple. General Manager Brett Veach and head coach Andy Reid saw the perfect fit. Simmons has the tools, the mindset, and the upside to be a long-term protector for Patrick Mahomes. This isn't just about plugging a hole on the offensive line, it's about building a wall in front of the franchise quarterback, and Simmons could be a key piece of that plan for years to come. What do you think, Chiefs fans? Was Josh Simmons the right pick at the right time? Let us know in the comments, and stick around because we're just getting started. All right, Chiefs fans, let's be real. Drafting Josh Simmons in the first round wasn't the safe, easy pick. It was a gamble. And Brett Veach knows it. But sometimes the biggest rewards come from taking bold chances. So what makes this pick risky? First off, Simmons isn't a finished product. He's got all the physical tools, size, strength, and quick feet. But there were real concerns heading into the draft. At Ohio State, he showed improvement, but he also had moments where his technique broke down under pressure. False starts, missed assignments, things that can't happen if you're trying to protect Patrick Mahomes. Critics pointed to his lack of consistency. Some draft experts had him graded as a second-round talent. So when the Chiefs took him in the first, the move raised eyebrows across the league. But here's the thing. Kansas City has a history of turning potential into performance. Look at Creed Humphrey. Look at Trey Smith. Both were passed over by other teams for various reasons, and now they're anchors of one of the league's top offensive lines. The Chiefs believe they can do the same with Simmons. And let's not forget the context. The Chiefs needed help at tackle after losing Donovan Smith. Sure, they could have gone with a safer option, but Veach clearly believes Simmons has the highest ceiling. If he develops as expected, this could be a pick we look back on and say, that's when the Chiefs stole the draft. Still, the pressure is on. Simmons will need to prove himself in training camp, earn his spot in the starting lineup, and most importantly, protect the most valuable player in football. So, what do you think, Kingdom? Did the Chiefs reach too far, or did they just outsmart the rest of the NFL again? Drop your take in the comments and let's talk about it. Okay, now let's break down what Josh Simmons actually brings to the table for the Chiefs. We're not just talking about a guy with potential. He's got some serious talent that could make a huge impact. First, let's talk about his size. Simmons stands 6'6" and weighs in at 315 pounds. He's got the kind of frame you want in a tackle, someone who can dominate at the line of scrimmage. What's even more impressive is his athleticism for his size. He's quick off the ball and has good lateral movement, things that are essential for a tackle in today's NFL, especially when you're going up against pass rushers who move like lightning. One of the things that really stands out about Simmons is his run-blocking ability. In college, he was known for driving defenders off the ball and creating running lanes. This is a huge asset for the Chiefs, who rely heavily on a balanced offense with the run game setting up big plays in the passing game. Now, let's talk about his pass protection. This is the part where Simmons needs to improve, but there's a lot to work with. At Ohio State, he showed flashes of brilliance in pass protection, especially when he kept defenders at bay with his powerful hands and footwork. But consistency was the issue. Sometimes he would get caught flat-footed, leaving the pocket exposed. But here's where it gets interesting. The Chiefs have one of the best coaching staffs in the NFL when it comes to developing young talent. Look at how well they've developed their offensive line in the last few seasons. Simmons has all the raw tools, and with the Chiefs' coaching, it's not hard to see him improving in this area. If he can get better with his hand placement and footwork, he could turn into a complete tackle. Lastly, let's talk about his mindset. He's not just physically gifted, but he's got the mental toughness that the Chiefs love in their players. Simmons is known for his work ethic and his drive to be the best. If he can keep that chip on his shoulder, there's no reason he can't reach his full potential in the NFL. So, what's the bottom line? Josh Simmons has the potential to be a game changer for the Chiefs. His combination of size, athleticism, and raw talent gives him the tools to be a star. It's just a matter of whether he can develop and refine those skills under the Chiefs' guidance. What do you think, Chiefs Kingdom? Is Simmons going to be a star, or is it going to be a long road ahead? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. So what does Josh Simmons' addition to the Chiefs mean in the long run? We know the Chiefs are a team that's constantly striving for greatness, and Simmons could be a key piece of their puzzle as they look to build on their already impressive roster. First off, think about the Chiefs' offensive line. It's been one of the team's strongest units over the last few years. Guys like Orlando Brown Jr., Joe Thuney, and Creed Humphrey have played crucial roles in keeping Patrick Mahomes upright and giving him the time to make plays. But as we all know, the NFL is a constantly evolving league. Players age, contracts expire, and the need to keep improving never stops. Adding Simmons gives the Chiefs another potential cornerstone player to build around for the future. Simmons could help solidify the offensive line for years to come, especially at the tackle position. Let's face it, finding a reliable left or right tackle is no easy feat, especially in a pass-heavy offense like the Chiefs. If Simmons can step into a starting role and perform at a high level, that would be a huge win for the team moving forward. Another thing to consider is the Chiefs' salary cap situation. With players like Mahomes and other key stars commanding big contracts, the team needs to be smart with their spending. If Simmons develops into a reliable starter, he could help the team avoid having to overpay for another veteran tackle down the line. That would allow the Chiefs to allocate resources to other areas of need while maintaining a solid offensive line. Beyond just the salary cap, Simmons also represents the Chiefs' long-term approach to building a dynasty. This isn't just about winning now, it's about staying competitive for years to come. By investing in young, high-potential players like Simmons, the Chiefs are setting themselves up to remain contenders for the long haul. But there's one more thing to think about: the competition in the AFC. The Chiefs are already one of the top teams in the conference, but the AFC is loaded with talent. Teams like the Buffalo Bills, Cincinnati Bengals, and Miami Dolphins are all hungry for a Super Bowl, and they've been stacking up their rosters to do just that. Simmons' development could be the difference between the Chiefs staying at the top or getting passed up by one of these rivals. The team knows this, and they're doing everything they can to ensure they have the depth and talent to maintain their elite status. In the grand scheme of things, Josh Simmons could be a key player in maintaining the Chiefs' dominance in the AFC. If he pans out, he could be the next great tackle in a long line of Chiefs offensive linemen, and that would be huge for both Mahomes and the team as a whole. So what do you think? Is Josh Simmons the future of the Chiefs' offensive line, or is it still too early to tell? We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. With the 2025 NFL Draft in the rearview mirror, the Kansas City Chiefs now turn their focus to the next phase of their offseason preparations. So, what's next for the team, and how does Josh Simmons fit into the grand scheme of things? First, let's take a step back and look at the Chiefs' overall roster. With key players like Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Chris Jones still leading the charge, the team is in a good position to make another Super Bowl run. But as we know, it's not enough to just have star players. It's about building depth and keeping the roster balanced across the board. As much as the Chiefs' offense gets the spotlight, their defense has been quietly improving in recent seasons. With the addition of young talent, including first-round picks and key free agent signings, the Chiefs are not just trying to outscore their opponents, but also stifling them when it matters most. Josh Simmons' addition to the offensive line is another important piece to this puzzle, but the team's future success will hinge on its ability to stay balanced on both sides of the ball. The team will also be looking to make strategic moves in free agency, especially with their salary cap situation. They've managed to keep their core players intact, but there are always areas to improve. Whether it's adding another pass rusher, improving the secondary, or getting another weapon for Mahomes, expect the Chiefs' front office to be active in the coming months. As for Josh Simmons, he's going to need some time to develop. While he has all the potential in the world, stepping into an NFL starting role is never a guarantee. But given the Chiefs' track record of developing young talent and their coaching staff's expertise, Simmons is in a great position to succeed. If he can hit the ground running, he could have a significant impact in his rookie season. The Chiefs' immediate goal, of course, is to win another Super Bowl. But their long-term vision is just as important. With Mahomes locked in for the foreseeable future, the team has the luxury of planning not just for the upcoming season, but for the next several years. This means not only developing young players like Simmons, but also keeping the roster deep and competitive across all positions. What's next for Josh Simmons personally? He's got a big opportunity ahead of him. With a solid foundation of talent around him and a team that's hungry for another championship, he has the chance to carve out a significant role in Kansas City's future. If he rises to the challenge, he could be one of the pillars of the Chiefs' offensive line for years to come. So, Chiefs Kingdom, how do you feel about the team's future with Josh Simmons on board? Do you think he'll develop into a star, or is it still too early to make any predictions? Share your thoughts in the comments below.